Hello everybody, my name is Bosco Nate, and today I'm going to be doing a Wing Justice showcase. Now, this is going to be exactly almost the same as my One For You showcase due to the fact that Wing Justice is a quirk-based quirk, meaning that you want to put your stats into quirk, essentially. But there are some other things that I'll be going over to help you understand it. And with that, let's get into the video. Now, I will say I'm going to split this segment into two sections, one with the Gamma Gauntlets and one without, due to the fact that it essentially, due to how similar in stats this is, it is basically almost the same thing. Now, I should say that this quirk overall, Wing Justice, is a support quirk. By that I mean it works better off with other quirks, especially those in like the quirk building stat. Now you could use it with Giant, but that's Giant and I will get into Giant on a whole nother video. But essentially you want to have this quirk either as your primary or your secondary along with something else. Because essentially just using it alone you're not going to be able to really do that much damage. But especially with like the majority of the moveset minus I believe the third one. But essentially, you want to have at least something else to go along with this. I like to main sword, just due to the fact because I like to feel like a Hawks in general. But yeah, just find something that goes along with it and then you should be fine. Hello everybody, my name is Bosco Nate, and today I am again with Frosterus here. We are going to be doing a Fierce Wing showcase. Like last time, we are going to reset our stats and put them all into quirk, since it is a quirk-based quirk. That is, well, Fierce Wings, or as it's called here, Wing Justice. So, without further ado, let's first reset our stats. Now, I should mention that I have the clothing consistency stat buff, where you like, you know, if you get the little upgrade which lets you enhance your stats via if you have the same clothing or not on. I have that on in this video, but it shouldn't really affect overall the amount of damage that you do. It just gives you like a little small buffs in your stats, but not too big. I just want to make sure I told people about that before we get into the rest of this video. So, it should be 596, so we're going to put everything into quirk now. So 596, 597, and let's first get with what the move it does. So it is a legendary, obviously, and we're first going to show off the passive, which is the wing jump. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about are the passives. You get like some extra jumps, I believe, and then also the gliding ability. Now, for some reason it's not flying, it's gliding, but what I like to do is there's a bit of a glitch where you can still use a skateboard while gliding, which does at least let you move a bit faster. It's not much, but you know, it's something. I mean, the gliding itself is not that very fast, but I also recommend if you're running One For You, use the powerful leap. Bing bada boom, you're at least getting some more aerial support, you could say, which allows for multiple jumps whilst in the air, and wing glide, which is like an idle passive. Well, the idle passive basically is what you're seeing right now. It is this basically. Then this is the glide. I find that using a skateboard while doing this can still let you go faster. It's not too much, but combined with OFU's powerful leap, it gives you a lot of good air. Just make sure to hold space when doing it. This allows you to go much faster, honestly. So that was the glide. Now let's get into what everyone really wants to see, the moveset. Now, first off, you have Fierce Tornado. This lets you flap your wings to produce a Fierce Tornado, as it says in the thing. So this is the Fierce Tornado without the Gamma Gauntlets. It lasts for about 6 seconds with an uptime of 1.2 times the damage. Now, overall, it is almost like the finger smash from OFU. It has a lot of range, a lot of distance. I don't really know if it'd be great for combo starting. It does act as a stun, since a lot of Wing Justice's moveset is stun based. So if you can find a way to use it, that'd be great. It is also a upgradable move, meaning you can upgrade it over time. Other than that, it does a decent amount of damage overall. Obviously, sorry again. You can upgrade it, so it is an upgradable move like the other ones. So this is what it does right now without the Gamma Gauntlets. So around 36 damage at max. And it is a stun-based move, meaning it's gonna stun you. And it's up to 6 seconds with a 1 point times damage. Next is the Feather Assault, which lets you shoot out projectiles. I was more surprised by how much damage this does, but with Feather Assault, it is a very good move that does at least a decent amount of damage, even if like you don't get hit with all of them. Just one feather alone does about 85 damage without the Gamma Gauntlets, and this is putting all your stats into Quirk. That is very surprising, because I thought it would do much less damage, but overall it's a very good long-range move. Upgrading it more lets you shoot more feathers, which can almost, like, if you have a whole group of people, it would be very interesting to see how much damage you would do. So I would say this works well with almost like an AoE semi-singular type of move, meaning it's good for big crowds while also good for attacking one person, which in my opinion is probably most likely giants, since again with giants, due to this being a stun, it can easily stun them due to their size. This is also going to be a stun. Now this also can be when upgraded to full, this can add to 3 extra feathers for your projectile, so each time you upgrade it, the more feathers you get. I didn't expect it to do that much damage, in all honesty. I was expecting it to do much less. Next, you finally have the Fierce Barrage. Like the other ones, it is a stun move. Who would have guessed? But this is basically your giant stun move. Basically, it's great against giants, since a majority of this set is basically for to go against giant players. But essentially, what we'll do is that it does at least 17 damage per hit without the Gamma Gauntlets, which is very good. It might not seem like a lot, but considering this is your barrage move and it gives you hyper armor, it does make sense. This is like your big crowd control move, something to help your teammates, and overall, it's basically like your support move almost. There's not really much to be said. Now, this is the one everyone really hates, and it's basically made for giant countering. It also gives you hyper armor as well, so here it is. That's like 17. Alright, so the next one is Justice Slam. Now, I have to give credit to Frost for helping me understand how this one worked. But essentially, this is your grab move, basically good for following up combos and everything. But what it does is, the initial grab, when you slam them back down onto the ground, it does 119 damage without the Gamma Gauntlets, and 30 damage upon the smash, meaning the wall smash in general, meaning when you grab them, you do 119 damage, but when you slam them back onto the ground, that secondary slam does 30 damage. So it's 119 and 30 damage right there, meaning you can do a total of about 149 damage. Opponent into the air before slamming them into the ground. This is but they can block this. So now, Wing Justice does not have a awakening. Sorry. Now, for the next part, we're going to be doing the Gamma Gauntlet showcase, meaning we're going to show that 15% buff to your quirk stat when we are doing this next part, and show you the difference between the moves then and now. This is going to give you another 15% boost to your quirk. So obviously, you want to do it's going to do a lot more damage. I don't know what else to say. It's like the same thing with one for you. It's going to do a lot more damage. I can talk about the pros and cons, I guess. The pros for this are obviously the flying. It's going to be such easier for moving around, along with also fighting giants. This is like your go-to if you want to like counter giants and everything in team battles. Problem is though, again, it's stun based. There's not a lot of moves that can guard break, but it's very annoying. And due to the high stun, it's, I would say, okay, but damage wise, if it's kind of iffy as well. Since it's like, you know, damage each time you're getting hit. It's like 41. I'll check it with Frost when he gets back. So, wing. That's 41 each time you're hit, so 41. Next is going to be the Feather Assault. Next is Fierce Barrage. Finally, you have Injustice. For this next part, I'm going to show you guys my stats that I personally use for Wing Justice. Now, I go with a hybrid sword build at the very least. This is sort of something that sort of does help, considering the fact that Wing Justice is, as I later on explain here at the end, a support quirk, meaning you need something else to combo with it. Because if you don't, you're just... it's basically useless at the end of the day. I wouldn't say it's useless, it's just very mediocre. It could use some flair, but at the end of the day, it's good to have this be combined with something else. You just really need something else to add on to it. I personally use sword. It's a great for combos, and due to the fact that sword skill like sword or another quirk like Frost is saying, Basically, this thing is great, but I would not recommend using it on itself because it's just going to be a mess if you do that. But yeah, as always, because yeah, the cooldown is very long. It's very long. As always, I thank Frost for helping me, and for you guys to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try editing this to make it sound a bit better, more professional. But yeah, as always, thank you to everybody who's been tuning in. Thank you for the 600 subscriber goal, and I will see you all later.